In this section, we'll cover ViPR security and integration with LDAP and Active Directory. From the ViPR admin section, you can go to security, and we have three submenus in security: the Authentication Providers, Role Assignment, and the Local Passwords. If we start from the local passwords, we can see that we have 4 local users in ViPR: the root, the service user, a proxy user, and our system monitor. So we can assign different passwords for each of those local users, which will be saved in the ViPR database. Additionally, for increased security, we can add authentication providers. So we click on Add. So now we should add the authentication provider. The first thing that we want to do is we want to assign a name for the authentication provider. So we'll call it pod6 Active Directory. Types, we're going to select Active Directory. We also have the LDAP option. And just add any type of description that you want. The domains that we're going to be managing, it's basically ViPR1 npr.edu. The server URL where we're going to be authenticating with LDAP is as follows. And then who's the manager here? So basically we need to set up our administrator account. So specify it in the container. We specify it belongs to the groups, to the users group. Then we specify our domain controller, and then the password for that manager. We can also specify our groups who want a whitelist, so we press an asterisk for everyone. And then how do we want to perform our search? So we have one level, or we can actually have a subtree search, and for now we're going to be using one level. And then the container again will be the users group. The domain controller, ViPR1.npr, and then the edu section. I will search for them with their principal name. So now click Save to activate our authentication provider. And now what we actually need to do is we want to bind groups that we have from our authentication provider, from our Active Directory, with the different roles that we have within ViPR. Notice that we have the root user, and basically root has access to everything. So it's a tenant administrator, system administrator, monitor, and also security administrator. So the first group that we want to create, it's the ViPR tenant administrators. And we want to grant them basically access to tenant administration, which will include projects as well, and then system and security administrator. As we create a group, we say save. Now that we have the group created successfully, let's log out of our root user and let's try out one of the users from our Active Directory. So let's return to the login page. Now I'm going to log in as pod6 ViPR admin at ViPR1 npr.edu. I type in my password. I say sign in. Notice that we have admin privileges when we log in. So basically we see everything that the root user would see. Let's get another try with a different user. And I want to log out. Now I want to log in. Now we will use the pod6 ViPR user at ViPR1 npr.edu. Type the password for the user, say sign in. Notice now that I don't see any admin privileges. I can use the service catalog, I can place orders, I can see what resources I have, but there's no way of administering ViPR. So this is basically LDAP authentication integration with ViPR in a nutshell. Thanks for listening.